Good morning, students. Students, today we are going to study a very essential, a very important connective tissue named as the fluid connective tissue. Based on the previous discussion about the connective tissues, you must be able to experience it in your body. So now yet another very important tissue can be easily experienced by knowing that it is present in the entire body parts. That means this tissue links different parts of the body and maintains a continuity in the body. Now how it is maintaining a continuity in the body? Because it is a fluid connective tissue. That means it is a fluid which is flowing in the entire body. So that fluid is blood or the lymph. So students, this fluid connective tissue, that is a blood, contains only the cells which are scattered, which are present in that particular fluid or the liquid matrix, which is named as a blood plasma. And there is entirely the absence of fibers in this particular tissue, that is a fluid connective tissue. Okay, so students, the blood plasma which is present in this blood, that is a connective tissue, that is a fluid connective tissue, is a liquid matrix which has a composition of approximately 80% to 90% water, and rest there is 5 to 10% inorganic salts and substances, or the organic substances like the albumins, fibrinogen, and some glucose, lipids, amino acids, enzymes, hormones, waste like urea and uric acid. So this is the composition of the matrix which forms the entire fluid characteristic of the blood. So there are three cells which are present in the blood, that is the red blood corpuscles that we say as erythrocytes, the white blood cells or the leukocytes or the platelets. Out of all the three, the red blood cells, that are erythrocytes, and the white blood cells, which are the leukocytes, are living, whereas the platelets are non-living. So these are three cells of the blood which are present in the matrix, which are flowing in the matrix with the liquid matrix, that is the blood plasma. We can see this, we can imagine and experience it, see it with the help of a figure. This is the artery in which the blood is flowing, and the blood contains this yellowish straw colored pale straw colored liquid is named as the plasma. Okay, and these are the other cells like the RBCs and WBCs, neutrophil, monocyte, eosinophil, lymphocyte, and the basophils are the types of WBCs, and these are the platelets. Platelets are the scattered, broken parts of the different cells. Minute fragments of the cells is named as the platelets. So now we should understand in detail about these different types of cells and what actually the liquid matrix, that is blood plasma, is. So students, the plasma forms the 55% of the total volume of the blood. Please note at this point that the plasma forms the 55% of the total volume of the blood, out of which 80% and 90% is water. Okay, that is why the water plays a very essential role in our body, and that percentage should be very much in our body, because the plasma, there is a blood which is a very essential tissue in our body, which transport the nutrients, oxygen, hormones, some vitamins, some proteins to different parts of the body, and even protects our body from any kind of pathogens and infections, and even help in healing our body from any kind of injury with the help of blood platelets, is responsible because of this connective tissue, this fluid connective tissue named as the blood. So the plasma, which is a liquid matrix, fluid matrix in the blood, is 55%, and the composition is 80% to 90% water, and the rest there is 5% to 10% inorganic substances like sodium, calcium, potassium, nitrogen, and organic substances like soluble proteins such as albumins. Albumins help, it is a protein, it is a soluble protein which maintain the osmotic pressure of the blood. Globulin, which acts as antibodies, which produce antibodies, and fibrinogen is used for clotting. Okay, and the glucose, lipids, amino acids that play a different role according to their characteristics and according to their properties and functions, and enzymes, hormones, waste like urea and growth, like the enzymes involved for growth of a body, and even to reduce other diseases like thyroid or any other thing. So all these different substances and the inorganic and organic substances play a different role in our body, and they are being present in the plasma. So now let's understand the first type of a cell of the blood. There is the red blood corpuscles or the erythrocytes, which is a living cell which is present in the liquid matrix, that is blood plasma. So what is the what is the RBCs? That is the red blood corpuscles. So the red blood corpuscles are red because of the presence of a iron containing red respiratory pigment named as the hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin is a red respiratory pigment which contains iron, and this red respiratory pigment, that is hemoglobin, absorbs the oxygen and it is known as the oxyhemoglobin, and when it also absorbs the carbon dioxide in smaller percentage which has to be exhaled out of a body, is named as a carboxyhemoglobin. So the hemoglobin has a role of providing color to the cells, which is red colored, and it also involved in absorption of the oxygen in the body. You can see in this particular figure, this is a red blood cell, okay, and this is biconcave in shape. You can see this is biconcave structure. This is a biconcave structure in this way, okay. You have seen the concave mirror, concave lens. It is like in this shape, okay, in this shape. So this is a biconcave shape of the red blood cells, and there are hemoglobin molecules in it which are providing the red color to this particular cell, that RBC, and it contains an iron respiratory pigment, that is hemoglobin. And the hemoglobin, when the oxygen is absorbed in the alveoli of the lungs, the oxygen is absorbed by the hemoglobin molecules, and the hemoglobin molecules absorb this oxygen and they are in this color. The oxygen bonded with the hemoglobin molecule, that is the oxyhemoglobin, and when the red blood cells reach the tissues, they release the oxygen to the particular tissues, and the tissues utilize it for the particular production of power or any kind of digestion of the food. So the erythrocytes or the RBCs of most vertebrates are oval shaped, nucleated and biconvex. That means they are oval shaped, nucleated, that means they contain nucleus, and they are biconvex in the case of vertebrates, whereas in the case of mammals, the erythrocytes are circular, biconcave, disc-like and lack nuclei. That means they are circular, okay, they are biconcave as I have shown in this figure. This is the shape of the biconcave structure of the red blood cells, and they lack nuclei. They do not contain nuclei in it, because they do not have nuclei, because so that they should be able to accumulate more hemoglobin in it, and they should be able to absorb more oxygen in their body. Okay, that is why they do not contain nuclei during maturity. In this way, the RBCs of mammals have increased surface area for gaseous exchange, as I told you, and they accumulate much more hemoglobin in them. And the RBCs carry oxygen to the tissues for the oxidation of foodstuff, which I told you just now. And the lifespan of RBC is 100 to 120 days. After that, they are eliminated by circulatory system. So in this way, the RBC is playing a very important role, that is, it is transporting the oxygen to the different tissues and the different body parts, so that it should be utilized for food digestion or oxidation or production of energy. So in this way, students, we understand about this particular cell of the blood, which is the fluid connective tissue, that is the red blood cells or the erythrocyte, which is living cell. Now in the second video, I will be discussing about the WBCs in detail and about the various functions of the blood. Okay, students, so thank you. Please watch the next video also, and you can note down this content based on the slides as it is. If you find any difficulty, you can ask me and contact me. Thank you.